What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tru Element 78 in the building with much better audio quality.
And with your reigning, defending Mondo Lucha Hall of Famer, the X-Man, Xavier Mustafa.
And everybody's favorite narcissist, the natural Chris Black.
And Chris Black coming in with the subpar audio.
They had to wait for that with. You see how they're trained over here at the Saturday Night Slamcasters. Anyways, today is what is today? It is June 15th. We are here to give you guys our predictions for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that WWE is putting on Father's Day. And I think there's going to be one father that is not going to like the gift that he receives. And we will be getting into that, as well as there will be a discussion about the NXT In Your House pay-per-view that happened this past Sunday. And that will be between Xavier Mustafa and the natural Chris Black. And I'll chime in on some of the things that I observed from the show as well. And some of the things that were very disappointing about NXT. But we'll get into all that. We're going to lead off with a quick set of church announcements and then get into the predictions for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Well, man, first I want to correct you about something. Nobody cares that it's Father's Day because it's a more important day going on that day, and it's the day I was birthed to this earth. So when those 2 days collide, we no longer acknowledge Father's Day. We acknowledge Xavier Mustafa Day.
Mustafa Day, huh?
Yep.
Mustafa Day. You're going to become a father that day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Legacy Pro Wrestling will be returning to the Root River Center on July 4th. And I'm sad to say this will be our last event at the Root River Center. We will be moving to a new building for our big Showcase of Champions show, which will be announced soon. We also will be announcing our special guest for that show. But before we get there, let's get through Red, White, and Bruises, which again is going to be September. It's going to be July 4th, Root River Center, 2:30 start time. Main event is going to be a tag team match featuring Isaiah Moore teaming up with Brown Sugar, the former Legacy Pro Heavyweight Champion, versus the new Heavyweight Champion Sean Priest and Eric Dillinger. So tickets are available now at LegacyProWI.com and Facebook.com/LegacyProWI. $20 tickets, get them while they're hot.
Well, before that goes down, I will be in Winona, Minnesota with RCCW. Supposed to take on an old rival of mine, Justin Dredd, but he is not able to make that show. But I will be facing off against Coda Jacobs. Very good young rookie out there. Looking forward to working with him. So, again, if you're in the Winona area, be sure to check me out and the rest of the RCCW crew.
And I'm going to continue encouraging you guys to hit that subscribe button here on YouTube, ring that bell so you're notified whenever new episodes go up, as well as getting you guys to go over to our Facebook page where we have the Saturday Night Slamcasters official fan page, as well as the Saturday Night Slamcasters Slam board. That's more of a open chat where you can interact with all the other members and post things that are going on in the wrestling world or movies. Everything doesn't have to be wrestling related. Just put NWR for non-wrestling related, and just get thoughts from a bunch of other people, as well as encouraging you guys to join our Discord server, Saturday Night Slamcasters. We plan on really starting to crank out some content over there. You may be getting like personal reviews from people as they in real time, and just a ton of other content where you can experience us individually over there if you want to, and as a group. So definitely get the Discord app and join our Discord server, Saturday Night Slamcasters. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the predictions for WWE's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view taking place, like I said, June 20th, Father's Day. And the first match that we're going to provide predictions for is I can't even say the name because I forgot to put my thing on mute, but Little Miss Bliss taking on Shayna Baszler.
Jesus.
Thoughts on this match? And I'm going to start with Chris Black.
You must have seen me rolling my eyes. First of all, this is going to be just a no-nothing pay-per-view. This pay-per-view is really just built upon one match. Well, I'm not going to say that because Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, although it's a rinse and repeat, it is in a Hell in a Cell. You know, those guys are going to give it their all. But anyway, getting back to this first match off, they're going to job my girl out. I think Shayna Baszler is going to take the fall. There might be shenanigans. There might not be. They're really pushing Alexa Bliss. I have to say she's doing some of her best work. I watched a match last night on Raw between her and Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss was giving it to her, and I like her style, and I don't know. I kind of like where they're going, but not at the expense of Shayna Baszler.
I'm going with Alexa Bliss all the way. That's all I got.
Plain and simple. Yeah, I don't think this is the type of storyline that Shayna Baszler should have been involved in. I think that this is a storyline that should have involved Charlotte. I believe, at least that's how I feel. To get Charlotte out of the title picture, to give Charlotte something more interesting to do. She has a new face. Let's give her a new feud. Okay, that's how I feel. So Miss Bliss is gonna win, and we know that Alexa Bliss is eventually gonna get her way to that title opportunity. So who knows? Does Charlotte beat Rhea? And then we get the Bliss match between her and Charlotte, or is Rhea going to retain? We'll get to that prediction later on in the show, on which direction that we think things are going to head. But as far as on this day, Miss Bliss is going to take it.
I got a question. I have a question for you guys. What happens when the Fiend comes back?
If
does he get retribution from Lily and Alexa Bliss?
See, again, motherfuckers just used to hate when I said that the Fiend is trash. They done completely destroyed this character, and I've given it personally 2 or 3 chances, and they failed miserably each time. So I honestly don't expect the Fiend to come back. They might try to do something else with Bray Wyatt, or they might get rid of him. Because, I mean, when you think about it from their perspective, yeah, people have bit into the Bray Wyatt characters, but since they didn't put the machine behind him, I don't think he's that valuable to WWE.
I think that he has a mind that is very valuable to the WWE as far as creativity. I don't see them letting him.
They don't see that, but they don't see that.
I don't know. He's been there this long. And he's made them tons of money. Remember, this company is focused around money. All the ideals that Bray Wyatt has generated massive amounts of money. No matter what they did to the Fiend, let's not forget that the Fiend and Roman Reigns were the number 1 and number 2 merch sellers. And when the Fiend was doing his thing, it wasn't even close.
And why do they book him so badly if they want to invest in it?
They get cold feet. that's honestly what it is. You know, a character like that in the PG era doesn't have a ton of legs, but
no one, Vince McMahon. I think Vince McMahon probably views that shit as like flash in the pan, though. That's how he's been booking it.
I'm not going to get into the mind of Vince McMahon. We've watched a ton of Vince McMahon movie projects, and they're all the opposite of what you would think that this man will be producing. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't think the Fiend's going to get retribution or anything like that. I think he's going to go down the path of probably like some prosperity preacher or something like that. Now he's going to see the light, become a Jehovah's Witness or something on TV. Who knows? So that's what I see going forward with that character. The Fiend is dead. Next up, we got the SmackDown Women's Championship being defended by Bianca Belair as she takes on Bayley. And a feud that has been booked on how annoying can Bayley be. I've said numerous times that Bayley and Seth Rollins have the exact same character right now. And they actually put them in a ring together for you to pretty much see. And they are the exact. If they had the mismatch challenge, those two would be teaming up right now.
I'm not going to lie. Besides that hideous suit that Seth Rollins had on, that was a hilarious segment. I enjoyed it thoroughly because they were both annoying as shit.
But in this match, there's no reason that Bianca Belair should be losing that women's title. And she's not going to be losing that women's title. I think Bayley is on her way down the card. I'm not going to say she's on her way out of the company, but all the shocks that we've been having, I really don't know what to say. there's not anything left for Bayley to do in WWE.
She needs to be a babyface again. This heel shit ain't working no more.
I feel like Bailey's a lifer. I don't see her getting released anytime soon.
Me neither. That's why I said they need to just go ahead and turn her back face. At least as a face, I don't know. She can do something. She can. Well, yeah, she has kind of gone through the roster, or at least all the top women. So I'd like to see her and Alexa Bliss do something with a face Bayley against a heel Alexa Bliss. But they're on different shows.
Yeah, and we're supposed to have a draft coming up. And yeah, Bayley, it is time for her to turn babyface again, but I don't know who helps her to make that turn or make that transition. And unlike the men's division in WWE, the women's division is kind of balanced with heels and faces, but there's really not a top heel right now. Do you want to argue Charlotte? But she hasn't really done anything heelish lately besides beat up Nikki Cross, but Rhea Ripley's beat up Nikki Cross too. So
yeah, I don't know. Top heel?
The top heel would be Bayley right now.
You don't think Alexa Bliss got a little more prestige right now?
She's not even a heel. Shayna Baszler was the heel.
I don't see Alexa Bliss as being goddamn. Anyway, when we get to NXT, I'll have some other shit to say about faces and heels.
Did you guys give your prediction?
Oh, I agree. Bianca Belair. There's no reason for her to lose.
Yep, I'm going with Bianca Belair as well.
And now we have the match that I mentioned earlier. We got the Raw Women's Championship being defended by Rhea Ripley as she takes on Charlotte Flair.
And do you guys see that? There's 3 women's matches and 2 men's matches, at least as of right now. So you would think that there's a lot more going on in the women's division.
And do you even count the Universal title match as a real match? Because I feel like somebody's going to get yeeted right out of the Hell in a Cell. But we'll talk about that when we get there. But I'm going with Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea Ripley has to win this one.
I don't know. I want to go with Rhea Ripley, but if she does win, there's going to be some type of shenanigans involved. Charlotte Flair is not going to get beaten clean, I don't think. Or they could give Rhea Ripley her win back, but I don't know. I have a feeling like they're going to continue this feud, so I don't think it's going to be a clean pin on Charlotte. I do think Rhea Ripley is going to retain.
This needs to be WWE's Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match. This match is going to need blood. It's going to need violence. These are 2 big women. You want to turn Rhea Ripley into the next generation, the next big thing in the women's division. She needs to go out there and put on a performance that no other woman on that roster has matched this year. So I'm picking Rhea to retain, but this is the WWE that we're talking about, and stranger things have happened. And if Charlotte does win, that will just show complete lack of confidence in Rhea Ripley, and she'll be finished and out of the company before the end of the year.
Well, let's project ahead just a bit. Is there another pay-per-view before SummerSlam?
Yeah, Money in the Bank.
Because the only way Charlotte Flair is winning is if they have a big match planned for her at SummerSlam. And I don't see her, because they're not going to do Asuka again, or maybe they will. It may be too soon for Alexa Bliss, but then again, maybe not. But I think when Alexa challenges for the title, I think she's taking it. So I don't think they're going to give Charlotte a title run.
Well, Alexa's going to win Money in the Bank. Oh, yeah. Let me get into that. I think Rhea needs to retain here, even though I would like to see. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. So I think that Charlotte needs to win. I mean, not Charlotte. I would like to see Charlotte win and have her and Bliss do a storyline together, but Rhea needs to retain. And so I think that the storyline is going to be Bliss and Rhea going forward, with Bliss winning Money in the Bank and challenging Rhea for the women's title at SummerSlam, where Rhea is just going to get wrecked somehow, some way.
I'll be good with that. they'll give her a nice little, title run since WrestleMania. So I'm with that.
And to be a David versus Goliath story, because Bliss is like 5'4", and Rhea's
if
like
that.
And Rhea's like 5'11", 6 foot.
Okay.
So yeah, and I think we're all in agreement that Bliss is winning. So moving on. When I say Bliss, Rhea's winning. Next up, you got a televised murder. Universal Champion Roman Reigns taking on Rey Mysterio inside Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship. Now, before you guys speak, I just want to throw this out there. This should not have been a title match to add suspense to the outcome. The fact they made it a title match ruins the match, in my opinion, because we know Rey Mysterio ain't beating Roman Reigns for that championship. At least if it wasn't for the title, there's that glimmer that Rey might be able to pull something out.
Yeah, but I don't think they want Roman Reigns getting pinned, period, at this time, if title or not.
Yeah, but still, at least if there's a false fall or close fall or whatever, you could get invested in the match. Like, oh, that was kind of close. Like, he just hit him with the 619, and like he hit him with 3 619s, and Roman kicks out at the last second.
I don't know.
Like we all knew, like AEW did in the triple threat match with Orange Cassidy. We knew Orange Cassidy wasn't winning that championship, but I'll be damned if you watch that match when Orange Cassidy laid out Pac and Kenny Omega with that Superman punch, and he went 1, 2, and you was like, oh, he kicked out. Like,
I don't know. This match just seems like just a placeholder, like obvious placeholder, just to get Roman through to SummerSlam, because this feud came out of left field. So, yeah, Rey Mysterio. My prediction, I think all of us will agree, Rey Mysterio ain't winning. It's all the tribal chief.
I know this is going to be a surprise to everyone, but I'm going to go with Roman Reigns as well.
Really? That's a bold prediction.
Murder, murder, kill, kill.
Look how brave Mustafa is today. But I know before we got on the air, I mentioned how the tag team champions haven't had anything to do on any of these shows recently. And you guys like, I don't even know who the tag team champions are. And I had to remind you that Rey Mysterio and Dominique are the SmackDown tag team champions, which is how this entire feud got going.
I think the writers forgot that they're the tag team champions.
And I mentioned that nobody's mentioning how Dominique and Rey Mysterio are just getting the piss beat out of them by the tribal chief.
Honestly, I know everyone's talking, I want to see Roman Reigns versus John Cena at SummerSlam. I don't want them to rush things, but this match should have been him against Jimmy Uso in a Hell in a Cell. That's what this match should have been. Now, I would be happy with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso at SummerSlam, but we already know that John Cena's got that spot. So are they just going to drag this storyline out some more? I just think that Rey Mysterio, poor pick, they should have just had Jimmy Uso in this slot.
I think they're going to do the John Cena thing, and then they're going to do the Jimmy Uso thing to get them to him versus Rock. So I think that's why they're not pulling the trigger on that right now, because they know they got to do something between John Cena and The Rock.
I guess.
Otherwise, we'll get Roman versus Otis, Roman versus I'll say Martinez. What's that dude name from the Street Profits?
Montez Ford.
Yeah, versus Montez Ford. It'd just be random matches, kind of like this, him and Mysterio. But
they should have gave Dominic Rey's spot in this match.
But this is what I ultimately think is going to happen. I think Jimmy and Roman are going to have a feud, and I think Jimmy is ultimately going to come to their side, and then that unravels when The Rock comes. Then does Roman stay heel? So I feel like they're itching to turn him babyface again.
They're not itching to turn him babyface.
It's not what I heard.
What they
we
want
don't discuss rumors like that.
But that's what they want him to be, though. They want him to be that money-making babyface, even though he's a money-making heel
right now. That's the thing about WWE these days. Remember, the heels didn't get merchandise. The heels got merchandise now, and all Roman's merchandise has been fucking fire. Shoot, what was it? Show up, wreck people, and leave. Then he had the shirt where he was like stack them and pin them or whatever. Like Roman's shirt's been fired. The Uso shirt's been fired. Nobody's bitch. The right hand man. Like Uso's been a license to print money right now as heels.
I just hope when we do have the match for the entire Samoan family clan, tribal chief leader, whatever they're gonna call it, versus The Rock. I hope The Rock comes back, not like the first time he wrestled John Cena, where he was kind of trash and blown up. But I hope it's the second time he wrestled John Cena. Like, The Rock better come this time.
When he ripped all of his muscles off of the bone in the second match.
Yeah, but at least the second match, he looked like he belonged in the ring. The first one, he looked like he was just out of shape, even though he was in shape.
Not ring shape.
Yeah. It's actually funny. I just was sitting here thinking about something. You know how WWE is like, we don't break up couples. And Naomi is on Raw and the Usos are on SmackDown. But I guess they're all emanating from Florida, so it doesn't matter right now. They need to be having that draft before.
What's a brand extension?
All right, and now we get into our final.
I do want to say, y'all heard that tickets are doing well.
Tickets?
Yep.
So it's gonna be $5 for the show, right?
Tickets for all these house shows they're doing aren't doing as great as they thought they were gonna be.
No one wants to watch this crap.
Nobody
wants to see it live.
Chris Black says, "Fuck COVID-19. It's shitty booking."
It is. I'm blaming the booking.
Don't worry, you're gonna see Chris Black front row with bells on.
Someone buying me tickets.
I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead. I was gonna.
Not gonna lie about what?
I said I'm not gonna lie, and y'all can mark this in the record book that I said this. We're recording this on June 15th. I'd rather go to the AEW show when they come here versus the WWE show.
So what you're saying is you want to see a good show. Got it. Actually, you want to see a great show. As long as Kenny Omega continues to be able to relax on Wednesday nights, or should I say Friday nights, because heard that man's beat the hell right now. But we're not here to discuss that. We'll get to the final match of Hell in a Cell, which is going to be Drew McIntyre taking on the WWE champion Bobby Lashley inside Hell in a Cell. If Drew McIntyre loses, he can never again challenge Lashley for the WWE championship.
Lord have mercy, Bobby Lashley wins this.
Look, Bobby Lashley has to win this because WWE needs to go ahead, pull the trigger. Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, SummerSlam, book that shit. Sorry, Drew. Do something else.
And I'm sad that Drew didn't get the real title reign that he deserved, because he did deserve a good title reign. But unfortunately, COVID-19 said not today. But I wish that he loses this match, and then they do something to kind of build him up in the background, and then somehow maybe WrestleMania or something like that, he's in the title match and he wins it then. That's the only way I'm going to care about it. Him wrestling every week for the title
they were originally taking the same approach with him as AEW was taking with Hangman Adam Page. The difference being that Drew had been champion, but they gave him the out with the Sheamus feud and a couple other little things that he did after he lost the championship. But now they're just keeping him in that title picture, and they're treating him like Roman Reigns got treated. And so now the fans, even though they're not in attendance, are kind of starting to turn on him because he's just taking up all the space and he's lost constantly to Bobby Lashley. And I sent you guys a video of Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez debating if the right decision was made on Raw to have Drew McIntyre pin Bobby Lashley with the Claymore, which was what Drew McIntyre said. He's like, I'm gonna defeat you with the Claymore, 1, 2, 3, and they let him do it on Monday Night Raw. Do you guys think that was the right decision to give that away on television before the pay-per-view, or should, or do you? How would you have booked that? Go ahead on your go-home show for Hell in a Cell. Would you have had Drew McIntyre pin Bobby Lashley with the Claymore, or would you had a different outcome?
There wouldn't have been, if I would have booked it, there wouldn't have been a match between these two. Period. If anything, a massive pull apart or something. They shouldn't be touching. They really shouldn't.
Remember the formula back in the day? Usually before going into a pay-per-view or something like that, they will always do a tag match and have some shenanigans happen and have the heels go over. Especially if the baby faces were going over in the pay-per-view. Bring those days back.
But that's the thing. Like, just because Drew McIntyre, it's like WWE just can't help themselves. Drew McIntyre, because he pinned Bobby Lashley clean on Monday Night Raw, that almost guarantees he loses on Sunday. And then we all know this. It's become a trope at this point.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily agree with that. I was like, you could hit him with the Claymore because Drew's been almost unable to hit the Claymore on Bobby Lashley as well in these matches. Maybe have him get hit with the Claymore, but he's not the legal man. Like, you can give him the visual pin, but Bobby wasn't the legal man. And then somebody comes in and knocks out Drew and pins him or something like that.
They could have had MVP pull the ref out before he counted 3. Disqualification.
All right. So I don't know, but I'm picking Bobby Lashley to retain here. And so they can get this feud out of their system and Brock Lesnar can come rip the door off the cage or whatever they're going to do. So, because that's the match we need at SummerSlam. We need John Cena versus Roman Reigns, and we need Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley if they want these tickets to start moving again.
To be honest, I think that would make me mosey down to Las Vegas.
So you gotta have a hot boy summer.
Oh no, just talking about I'll do those type of things.
Y'all gotta see Mustafa and them knees he got be working.
Mustafa Summer. That's the new t-shirt. Hot Mustafa Summer.
Yeah. So that has been your Hell in a Cell predictions. Now I will pass it over to my 2 co-hosts to discuss the NXT show. And like I said, I'll chime in on the things that I saw over there, and at the end give thoughts on NXT moving forward.
Alrighty. Well, the show opened up with a 6-man tag winner takes all match. Bronson Reed and MSK versus El Gato del Fantasma, with Bronson Reed and MSK winning. I thought the match was actually pretty good. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. A lot of innovative stuff in that match. Some of it looked weird, but some of them looked really, really cool. What did you think about the match, Chris Black?
There was absolutely all the matches. There's nothing wrong with the matches. The pay-per-view as a whole just felt just very unimpressive. This match was very predictable. I think we called it during our predictions. There's no way that they were going to lose their titles. But yeah, very good match. I can't say much more about this match. It was a match, and it was good. Booking was very predictable.
Next up, we had, I'm going to say, one of my favorite matches of the night, just because I like the way it ended and what happened to Mercedes Martinez at the end of it. Yeah, Xia Li versus Mercedes Martinez. Very stiff match. Loved it. And then at the end, Xia Li ended up defeating Mercedes Martinez. And then she went to attack her. Mercedes was able to reverse that around. She started beating up Mercedes. Then she got into, oh God, I can't remember the girl's name. Ming Ying, I think her name is. I probably butchered that.
Mel Ying.
Yeah, she got.
You're right. Me or Mai Ying.
She started talking smack to her. She got up. They confronted each other. She hit her with the, I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to call it the goozle. She hit her with the goozle, then she fought out of it. Then she goozled her again and threw her off the stage, which I thought was fantastic. So I like seeing Martinez get a little dominated here because she is a big girl. And I think that's going to make you kind of believe in her more, seeing her get her ass whooped a little bit. What did you think about it, Chris Black?
Yeah, this was one of my favorite matches on the night. Like you said, very stiff. Both these women worked their asses off. I liked it. It was a little short, but I think the time was like 7 minutes, 40 seconds. So a little short, but I mean, rather too short than too long, in my opinion.
So I had a question for both of you guys. What do you think overall of Xia Li's transformation? I love it.
I like it. Hopefully they do her better than they did Asuka once she gets on the main roster, if that happens. But that's wishful thinking. I like Xia Li. I think she's got championship gold in her future.
Definitely. I definitely can see that. I guess we don't have any comments from Tru Element, so we'll move on. Then we had the ladder match for the $1 Million Championship. I love that they brought this belt back. And just for you history buffs out there, I believe the last person to hold this belt was a guy named the Ringmaster. I don't know if he ever went on to be anything, but just a little history, tidbit there. You had L.A. Knight defeat Cameron Grimes. I did miss the end of this match because I had a situation going on in my neighborhood that I had to take care of. But from what I saw, the match seemed like it was really, really good.
And for those of you who are curious, his neighborhood, he had to go help Meteor Man fight off the Golden the Golden Lords.
The Golden Lords.
But this is one of the matches that I did see and that really piqued my interest. And the fact that LA Knight went over, I remember we came on this podcast after LA Knight's debut and he lost that first match. We were like, oh, that's not a good sign. And how the WWE has actually turned that character around and that direction around. And I also remember way back when coming on here and speaking about Cameron Grimes and the talent that I saw in that guy. And at least one of you guys were arguing me up and down about how Cameron Grimes kind of sucked and the character kind of sucked. And look at this guy now. He's on his way to being one of the top NXT stars.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed this match. The right guy won. As Xavier Mustafa alluded to, the last champion or $1 Million Championship belt holder was a guy named the Ringmaster, who you guys know as Stone Cold Steve Austin. I would love to see Stone Cold make an appearance down at NXT to help put LA Knight over with that championship or about that championship. I think that'd be really cool, especially because the way that LA Knight has cut promos in the past, he sounds like Stone Cold and he talks like The Rock. Has been an accusation that's been tossed around at him with a bunch. So to see him and Stone Cold have an actual interaction, I think could be entertaining. So
can you imagine the Capitol Center if Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hit?
Yeah, the video screens would go wild.
No, there's people there
fans.
too.
They have fans down there.
They got to make all the plexiglass shatter, though. I don't know how. They got to make that happen.
I don't know how I felt. I don't know how I really felt about this match. Well, the match itself, good match. Great match between these two guys. Now, the finish, I have to just kind of question that. I'm wondering why they're going in this direction. And I missed NXT tonight. I should have watched it because I kind of want to see how this story unfolds. The only explanation I can come up with is LA Knight represents, I guess, old money, and Cameron Grimes is new money. And if you know anything about those terms, old money never respects new money because new money is just not the same. So Cameron Grimes is probably just a poser, and him holding that $1 Million Championship would have been a bad look if that's the story they're going with. Other than that, I can't make heads or tails out of this decision because of the gimmick, Cameron Grimes, that belt should have been his. But we'll see what LA Knight does with this.
You know what? We should start a hashtag bring back Virgil. They bring Virgil, pair him up with Cameron Grimes to continue this feud with LA Knight and the $1 Million Man.
They don't want to doom him, do you? Virgil.
I will pop for that though. I really would.
Not saying I wouldn't. Virgil will pop for that.
Then we had, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed by this match. I didn't think it was that great.
Yeah.
Raquel Gonzalez defeats Ember Moon to retain the NXT Women's Championship. That was a devastating, whatever you want to call that. It's a kind of a power bomb, choke slam kind of deal. But Jesus Christ, they're like 20 feet up in the air. But
wasn't Ember Moon out because of injury or something like that before? There was like a
ankle injury, ACL injury, chasing after 24/7 championship.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what the injury was, but I'm just like, God damn, like wasn't she like in danger of not coming back not too long ago, and she's taking all these hellacious bumps. Raquel Gonzalez, I don't know. She's missing something. Experience, maybe. I don't know. Her greenness is really showing.
Yeah, her transitions is kind of awkward. Her ring presence is still a little awkward. She needs to work on those. Those are the two things that I noticed almost immediately. But I mean, she'll get it with time. But like right now, I really don't think she should be women's champion.
No,
because
there's no reason why Dakota Kai shouldn't have been in their spot.
Right,
Raquel Gonzalez could have been her heater.
Yeah, Raquel Gonzalez is really exposed right now.
Very. It's like almost to a lesser degree when Shawn Michaels and Diesel were together and Diesel got the championship, and you're like, man, Shawn Michaels should probably have that, not Diesel.
All right, then we have our main event. Karrion Kross defeats Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, and Kyle O'Reilly to retain the NXT Championship. I thought this match was okay for the most part. I just think they did too much. I think Kross, Pete Dunne, and Johnny Gargano came out as, I don't want to say bigger stars, but I think they really shined in this match. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, I think they went backwards a little bit.
All right, so I mentioned earlier that I'm going to have something to say about faces and heels. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Karrion Kross is supposed to be a heel, right?
Yep.
What makes him a heel?
He makes faces to the camera when after he doesn't move.
Other than just beating the hell out of people, what's the difference between him and Drew McIntyre? Because he doesn't smile when he does it? Like, to me, Karrion Kross isn't a heel. And they're kind of booking him as like a monster babyface. Like his big spots in the match where he came back from being power bombed by two people onto the tables. Come on, that's a babyface spot. If it was supposed to be a heel, that would have taken him out of the match.
Yeah,
I'm confused. I think Karrion Kross, don't get me wrong, he plays the part well if he's supposed to be a tweener. Because like I said, he's not a heel in my opinion because he doesn't do heel shit. He's just a badass.
That's true, but I think that's just 2021 booking nowadays. It's like, okay, you're a heel because you make an ugly face to the people after you do something. And that's it. You don't really do any cheating. You don't do anything behind the referee's back. Just go out there and make faces.
I mean, even Brock Lesnar didn't necessarily do heel shit, but he was a beast, but he was kind of a bully. Like, Karrion Kross doesn't even do that.
Right, because Brock Lesnar would hit you with like 3 German suplexes and throw you at the ring like you ain't shit.
Right. And again, the whole promoting of this match, Karrion Kross is like, I'll take you all on. That's babyface shit.
Yep. Definitely.
But yeah, I kind of agree. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, yeah, this wasn't their match. Gargano and Pete Dunne shined more than they did.
Yeah, and the thing that I heard over and over, and I did take a couple of peeks at this match, I didn't make it all the way through, was how they showed a lack of confidence in their champion. like they didn't give Karrion Kross a ton to do in here. It was get in there, look dominant, get thrown out of the ring, don't do anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, these guys all look like almost like midgets compared to him. So I guess you couldn't have him like just wiping the floor with all of them.
Well, honestly, I like that booking to go in and get your shit in and dominate, because the matches that he's had so far have been way too competitive, especially his last two with Finn Balor.
Although Finn Balor can go, but I get what you're saying.
And I know we didn't watch the show, but I'm going to throw some spoilers out there for you guys. It won't be spoilers by the time you guys hear this. But yeah, Samoa Joe did take over as the GM. It appears him and William Regal hopped into a car together. You had a face-off between Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe. NXT is kind of in a flux right now with what's going on with Samoa Joe being back, it looks like, because we don't know who Adam Cole's going to be facing next week. So I don't know what that had to do with anything. But what I am seeing online is that the tag team match to close out the show with Tommaso Ciampa and James Drake, GYT, took on Timothy Thatcher and Ciampa took on GYT and Zach Gibson, and they said it was one of the most brutal matches in NXT history, on par with the Walter match that we saw.
Nice. I was just wondering whatever happened with Ciampa.
Yeah, everybody's saying they were worried about Ciampa's neck in this match, so I'll be definitely checking this one out.
You know, he has no regard for his neck. He's like, what neck?
New Japan looks at what he does to his neck like, God damn.
So just to clarify, William Regal is still the general manager. It's like Samoa Joe is almost like his assistant, if you will.
The constable, ain't that what they call Baron Corbin?
Oh, no, he's gonna take the buzzsaw Tajiri's role with him and William Regal.
Basically, I actually don't mind that he's gonna be like the heavy for William Regal as the general manager. Make sure his will is done. So pretty much, William Regal is gonna be the first sergeant or the captain, and go out there and get the shit done. Samoa Joe.
Dude, speaking of Samoa Joe, I would have loved to have seen like old school in his prime Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross.
I love the way that they're kind of hinting that on NXT.
Man, I would love to see that.
Because Regal came out and he was like, hey, you can't be an active competitor. You can't put your hands on anybody. And then he turned to Karrion Kross and said, unless you're provoked.
Let's hope he gets cleared.
So yeah,
maybe we can see that match.
I just can't wait for that day when everybody's in the ring bickering and arguing, and Samoa Joe comes out like he did on SmackDown that one time, and he was like Jeff Hardy, why don't you do what you do in an AA meeting and shut the hell up, sit in the corner and be quiet. He's like. He just started running everybody down. He's like, I already choked you out. He's like, I don't even know what would he say? Mustafa, I don't even know why your simple ass is out here after I put you to sleep last week.
Why I gotta be in it?
He went to AJ, how's our girl Wendy? I just can't wait for him to come out and cut a promo on the NXT stars.
Right?
What was you looking around for when I said Mustafa? Ain't that the guy's name from Retribution? I don't remember anymore.
Mufasa
Ali. Mustafa. No, it's Mustafa. Yeah, Mustafa Ali. What the fuck?
Oh, I thought you was throwing my name there.
Don't be trying to gaslight me. But anyways, that's been your In Your House review. Did you guys have anything else to say about that show?
No, I agree with Chris Black that like a lot of the matches were good, but overall it was an underwhelming pay-per-view.
Would you say this was one of the most disappointing NXT shows you've seen?
I would probably have to say that, yeah.
This show could have been an episode of NXT, to be honest. Except for maybe the main event, they probably would have had to cut like 10 minutes out of that.
See, I had definitely expected for you to give the ladder match higher praise because it wasn't a spot fest ladder match Like it was a smartly booked ladder match where they did just enough stuff.
I had no issues with the ladder match itself. I thought both guys did great. They, the big bumps that they did, like the big bump that Cameron Grimes took off pushed off the ladder onto a ladder, and it's like he was just broke his back. Like the big spots were nice. Like you said, it wasn't a spot fest. I enjoyed it.
Right. So, yeah. So, all right. That's pretty much been everything to discuss. And other than that, you guys want to give out your social medias?
You can catch me at Xavier Mustafa on Facebook and Twitter.
Catch me at The Natural Chris Black on Instagram and Facebook, and on Twitter at _natural_CB. Be sure to check out, subscribe my videos on my YouTube channel, The Natural Chris Black, where I do all coverage of New Japan Pro Wrestling. My most recent video was my review of the Dominion show, where a new champion was crowned.
And I already told you guys where you can catch us, but once again, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified whenever new YouTube content goes up. We got movie reviews dropping for you guys. Once Dark Side of the Ring is over, we're going to be having the Dark Side of the Ring reviews and introspection and retrospection coming to you guys, as well as a ton of other content over here on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. Completely different content. New episodes drop over there every second and fourth Saturday out of the month. And you can also catch me at Slamcaster TE78 over on Twitter. And once again, I want to encourage all of you to go and join our Discord server, Saturday Night Slamcasters. And I can tell you this, I will definitely be way more active on Discord than I am on Twitter. So, and a lot more uncensored. So other than that, we up out of here. Holla at your boys. Come get slammed. Peace.